Hi everyone, my name is Zadie, and after reading the racial identity development theory, I definitely felt very validated reading the biracial column because I am biracial. I am Hispanic and Caucasian, and growing up, I felt like I was very in between the boxes in a sense, and it was just very confusing for me. Even though I spent so much time with my dad's Hispanic family and going to all the parties, experiencing the family traditions, my whole family spoke Spanish. While that did inform me of my racial identity, it just was very confusing because I almost felt like I didn't belong there. Even though I grew up with that community, I experienced everything, it just felt like I was a guest, if that makes sense. But it was very validating to see that I'm not the only person that feels that way, and many people who fall under the biracial category feel that way as they navigate their racial identity. And as for experiencing institutionalized racism, I haven't personally experienced any, which is I identify as a privilege. I am very lucky to not have directly experienced institutional racism. But in the field I work in, early education, I do see it a lot, unfortunately. And one time I can specifically remember is at the beginning of my journey in early education. I was 19 years old. I just started as a preschool teacher, and I started to notice a lot that African American children were kind of getting sent home or expelled. It's more of a hard expulsion is what they call it, when the child is just sent home for the day after what is like misbehaving. It's really subjective to every teacher what they qualify as misbehaving, but I noticed a lot of African American children were getting sent home more. Specifically a child in my class, I noticed when I wasn't there and another teacher would fill in, they would get sent home a lot more. So I brought it to the director's attention, and they kind of brushed me off and just really didn't address my concerns. They just made it an issue of the other teacher's capability and and didn't really address how it was affecting the child being sent home every day. And that was really concerning to me because I was very passionate about what I did as a preschool teacher, and if I noticed a child wasn't getting 100% of what this program was offering, then I would say something. So it just definitely rubbed me the wrong way. And it's just something that I felt very isolated in experiencing, because at that age, I was 19, I felt like people didn't really take me seriously as an adult yet. I was kind of like a fake adult because I felt so young and everybody else in the center was so much older than me. So I felt like I was bringing these concerns that I felt were really valid, but nobody was really sticking by me or hearing what I had to say. And it was very isolating, which is funny because during that stage of development, you really find intimacy versus isolation with Erickson's theory. And I felt like I was finding no community with how I was feeling. And it was really challenging for me to navigate that. Challenging for me, and especially hard for me to imagine how that child and that child's family was feeling, or the other families and children were feeling in that center that were also noticing this. And yeah, it's also something that I like to, whenever that topic comes up in our learning materials, I know there's like a preschool to prison pipeline video I believe we watched. It just, I don't know, it strikes a chord with me just because I've seen it, and I know how it can be brushed off very easily, but really, if you're looking at a bigger picture, if you're looking at the bigger picture, it's a bigger issue that needs to be addressed. But yeah, that is one experience that really struck out to me. And yeah, and especially if you're a young child in your early childhood and you experience this, you just become so distrusting in the world, and it doesn't help you develop a self-esteem. It just makes you not trust anything, and it doesn't make you feel safe, which is the exact opposite of how children want to feel at that age, because that is what's you need a safe, trusting environment to develop and flourish as you get older. So it's just something that stuck with me a lot, and I think made a big impact on where I'm headed with my social work journey, because I do want to work with kids. But applying critical race theory, I think an action that I try to take moving forward in my everyday work, and just when I feel uneasy about things, I always like to keep myself up to date with research, because I feel it calms me when I learn more about the things that I'm hearing. Especially nowadays, there's a lot of misinformation going on, so I just appreciate to keep myself informed and also keep others informed. So I love sharing resources with people. Something that I've been using recently in my own line of work as I go to different childcare providers is the National Association of School Psychologists website. They have a bunch of diversity websites that can really pinpoint a certain website that will provide resources for different cultures and different aspects of diversity that could help children or people who take care of and provide for children. So I find that very helpful. But yeah, this looking back on it, if I were to experience that situation again, I would definitely react a little bit differently, just because I know me then at 19, I came in very hot, I know, expressing my concern, and I don't think I gave myself the right words to voice my concerns. I was more going with anger and disbelief out of what was happening and what I was seeing and experiencing. I think now if I were in that situation, I would come at it way more level-headed and just hit them with the facts about how this is really damaging the child's development and affecting them in ways we can't even see right now, and it's something we really need to talk about. But I really like this discussion video. It helped me really reflect on past experiences, and it was a great practice tool to stay present in the material I'm reading and not continue to spiral, even though what is going on with the world is really hard to kind of pick and choose what we hear and then research more on. But thank you. Looking forward to all your responses.